A man who was detained for a period of 2 years is the subject of this narrative. I am a married man of 38 years old and up until the age of 35. I had an on and off relationship with masturbation and pornography, but it was nothing too debilitating. At the age of 35, I had a successful career and a normal routine life. I was happy. As a result of the bullying, I injured my knee and began to hobble around. It became so painful that I began to despise it whenever my wife asked me to do outside chores because I would have had to climb those stairs, which would have further injured my knee. Physiotherapists, I had no idea what the hell was wrong with my knee, and I just couldn't figure it out. After doing a lot of research online, I came across the claim that Indian scriptures extol the virtues of sexual continence and assert that it is the cure for all kinds of bodily ills. I found this somewhere online. Because I was in so much discomfort, I made the decision to give it a go. I came to the conclusion that I am unable to practice complete semen because I am married, but at least I was able to stop masturbation and porn when it came to me. Even though neither of those things had ever been considered normal, I still participated in them because I had nothing better to do. Therefore, I decided to give myself the challenge of going without porn for a period of 3 months. The first attempt was unsuccessful within a fortnight. The conclusion of my cave exploration jolted me into awareness. It's possible that taking on this endeavor as a challenge was more difficult than adopting this way of life. It was a mistake on my part to keep track of the days. The second attempt was made by starting a new life. 3 months had passed, and during that time, all of the feelings that I used to feel had become more pronounced, and my knee has felt emotionally better. I started having this sense that I was a rebel, but I couldn't quite put my finger on what it was that I was rebelling against. I had not yet stopped having regular sexual encounters with my wife. Once, while I was having an orgasmic experience, I was unable to ejaculate. The day after that, a lot of the time, I went back and forth between being aggressive and enthusiastic. The part that was so much fun was that there were fewer thoughts of depression or regret. I started doing some research on the retention of sperm. It seemed like a much more difficult task than not engaging in any masturbation or pornographic material, particularly for a married man. There were 150 videos and blogs discussing various methods of meditation and transmutation, as well as topics such as taking cold showers, eating habits, and sleeping postures. At this point, I was beginning to have doubts about what was actually possible, from the retention of sperm to the discipline required to make it a way of life. Even wet dreams, in the opinion of some of these individuals, constituted a violation of this practice. Because I intended to make this my life's work, it did not bother me in the least. And I told myself that I am not going to treat this as a challenge. I'm going to do what is most natural for me. I am going to skip over what practices I followed and how they evolved because this topic may be very sensitive to some people and may not appeal to others. I'm going to skip right over the introductions and get right into how the world shifts around you. If you keep doing this for a long enough period of time, there will be some things that I will be able to explain with a hypothesis that makes sense, and some things I simply cannot explain, while others I am able to. You will never feel down and will have boundless energy, just as if your body were producing cocaine. You are going to have a difficult time being in any other state. People, particularly those with a high level of education and accomplishment, will find it difficult to approach you because your mind will become much more acute than your intellect. You will never lose your sunny disposition and are always willing to lend a hand to your friends, whether they are engaged in an intellectual or physical activity. The appearance of your skin as well as your general health will improve. This was the primary factor that drove me. Your eye contact will get better, and you'll have a better image of yourself as a result. You'll find that many of your undesirable behaviors simply disappear on their own. You will finish your projects in an unrealistically short amount of time due to your general. In addition to this, mental clarity will increase. You won't just become more logical or have a good memory. Instead, you'll develop your creative abilities. Long and complicated codes that you write will run in a single pass. You will develop a sense of humor and break the habit of being critical of other people. If you stop lying, even a little bit, you will start to see women as human beings rather than objects to conquer, and men as friends rather than competitors. You mature to the point where you are able to deal with the repercussions of your actions. You suddenly take on the role of a hero, and your body language shifts to become stoic and quiet. You won't be able to identify with the feeling of confusion any longer. Now the things that I cannot give to children will gravitate towards you. One time I was walking my dog when I encountered a father who was out with his child and their dog. You have the desire, you make the plan, and you achieve success. In order to travel to Morocco, I required a visa. I am an Indian citizen living in Amsterdam. It was the wedding of one of my closest friends, and I had only 3 days to prepare. The issuance of a visa for Morocco takes at least 1 week and takes place in Amsterdam. Because I wanted to be able to attend a friend's wedding, I went straight to the consulate and asked the resident official for a visa within today's time frame. The youngster just stopped what he was doing and could not break his gaze from mine. Naturally, her father was perplexed by the situation. In addition, I believe that women of varying ages and appearances who are irritated in some way will be drawn to you. It makes no difference whether it is a stunning blonde barista girl standing 6 feet tall or your wife's. You've stopped going to parties entirely. After that, you are the party that doesn't try any longer. ... After that, not even a sad story. No, I have it now. Things turn out better financially, and any legal issues are resolved. You will stumble across unanticipated opportunities to make money. People will tell you in no uncertain terms that they intend to invest in your company. If you establish one, you will have access to a multitude of employment opportunities. People will want to do what they can to make you happy. They will engage in activities designed to get you involved. Because of the warmth that you bring into a room, people will never fail to notice your presence. When everyone is talking to you, it can be difficult to find a suitable response, even if you are making a concerted effort to be discreet and to persuade others of your legitimacy. You will simply need to state what it is. After that, you will have an appreciation for how uncomplicated and straightforward life can be. You will develop a stunning appearance. When you walk down the street, people will look at you strangely. Your irises will sparkle just like the facets on a diamond, and they will shine brightly. As soon as you begin communicating with them through your eyes, regardless of whether they are a man or a woman, you will possess them. You could have as many as 20 orgasms in a single day, just going through the motions of life. You will experience a slowed-down passage of time. You will accomplish a great deal more than other people do in a single day. You will find a time to spend with your coworkers. And you too may notice that the area in the middle of your eyes begins to ache from time to time. And in a few of those moments, you will feel a connection with the very base of your spine that is quite unusual. And you will find that tears are streaming down your face. Eventually, you will realize what it is that you have been fighting against all along. You will catch a glimmer of what is to come, which will excite every cell in your body and leave you feeling electric. You will feel them exploding into sparks of electricity as they become more powerful. You might be curious about what it would be like to experience the collective orgasm of 1 trillion different living beings. Dreams are subject to change. They will take on a colored appearance. Your dreams will present you with a spiritual opportunity. The act of sleeping will turn into. After each night of rest, we will have new insights for you to consider. After every sleep, like a baby changes, sense of gender will start to disappear. You won't have any trouble loving both men and women. You will have a genuine interest in learning more about them. You are going to develop a deeper love for animals. In point of fact, you will start to appreciate everything. There will be less of a need to be afraid of death. Your mouth will only say the appropriate thing to say in any given circumstance, and life will seem to go on forever. This is an incredible ability that enables you to show up at any meeting or gathering with complete confidence. Once you take the time to evaluate what you have said, even if at the time you did not believe it to be flawless, you would consistently have the impression that you have located your one true love. To wrap up this discussion, I'd like to point out that the retention of sperm cannot be accomplished solely through the use of one's willpower. Grace is essential in this situation. The meaning of grace may vary greatly from person to person. That, for me, is the dividing line between being dogmatic, having religious beliefs, and having a personal spiritual practice. In order to get a glimpse of what kind of man they could be, every man should give it a serious